Why? Why are you so fucking retarded? It's just stupid as shit sometimes, yo. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck, man? You're fucking ridiculous right now, bro. This fucking phone, y'all. Just this phone being stupid as shit. That's all it is to it. Phone being janky as fuck, retarded. It's doing all kinds of weird ass shit right now, bro. This shit is not even supposed to be doing any of this shit right now, and it's just going all fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous right now. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. I can't hit the back button. This shit is just the phone has no bottom of the screen for some reason. The bottom of the screen is non-existent. Somehow I can't hit the bottom of the screen to go back, and it goes back. It goes to the fucking thing that it did last. And it's like, what the fuck? Is the home button not available anymore? Do you not know where the home button is? Like, I just know that this is not the fucking problem. This is the phone's problem. This is the phone being ridiculous because all of a sudden now it knows what a reset button is, but it doesn't know where the home button I've been trying to hit this whole time is. It's so crazy. I'm literally trying to send this link and it's just not doing what it's supposed to do. This is what I'm dealing with. This is what I'm dealing with. Oh, this is so crazy. It was the wrong number it sent to. That's crazy. That's even more crazy. That's even more crazy. Just it's just backwards. Ass backwards. Come on, Jew ass nigga. Like what the fuck? Come on, dude. You gotta stop this shit, bro. This is insane. This phone doing this shit is insane. Trust me, I'm literally trying to hit this shit. Like, and this shit is being so stupid right now. What the fuck, bro? I'm literally trying to send this fucking message, bro. This is absolutely fucking the weirdest shit that I've ever had to deal with in my life. Absolute craziest thing I've had to deal with in my life, yo. This shit is absolutely fucking absolutely bonkers. Completely, absolutely, absolute thing. Look, it's constantly doing this. I can't go back. I can't leave. I keeps taking me places I have no idea where you're going. What the fuck? I'm not even trying to go there, and it keeps taking me places. I don't want to go there. Now it's like, oh my god, this is not what the hell I wanted. What the fuck? Leave, leave. Oh, this is killing me. I just want to go. This is ridiculous. I don't want this. I don't want this. Get out of here. This is ridiculous, yo. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. I swear to God, I'm trying to leave. I'm trying to go. I'm trying to get my shit together. This shit is acting ridiculous right now. Fucking ridiculous right now. Absolutely fucking ridiculous right now. I'm literally just trying to get this shit to be like common sense, like right now. But this is what we're dealing with. This is the what we're dealing with here. It's no longer being uh, uh, anything of a useful thing. It's constantly just being a nuisance, you know, constantly just being a nuisance. This is technology at its highest point, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's probably not even gonna get any better than this. Even it's not even looking. So just know that this is where it's going. It's about as close as it's gonna get. Yeah, don't get no better. And and this is what it is. Let's see. And with this, we're gonna bring back somebody brings it real.
What up, bro? Happy Valentine's Day, I guess.
Happy Valentine's Day. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. It's
They
been a
also not no
freaking
day of
hectic
love,
week.
bro. This been a fucking hellish day.
That's a fact.
For real. Today is just one of
That's
them
a
days where it's
fact.
like, what the fuck?
Really crazy.
It's like, what
Hasn't
happened to
even
all the
been
love?
anything to feel good about.
There's nothing to feel good about. And I hate to be a pessimistic person because I'm pretty optimistic, but goddamn, this shit is hurting.
I know.
It's just
I
tiring to see
try.
all these people, just evil people, just trying to be vindictive and trying to ruin people's lives for no reason. Just tiring.
Oh my God, yes. It's just sad. It's just it's very sad when we look at everybody outside and not even feel courteous or comfortable about being outside with other people. It's crazy. Say that I would see something like this I've ever seen in humanity. Like for real, like it's just maddening to me. Like I don't understand where people may even feel like what it's supposed to be. I don't get it.
It's it's just we're at a time and age where it's like, people are just vindictive, and they feel obligated when they should not be obligated, because if you did not work hard for something, it does not belong to you. Period. The end. And you see a lot of people
Right.
out there. They are basically targeting empathic people. They're targeting good-hearted people. All these people are sitting around trying to
Mm-hmm.
be manipulative, trying to use them for the best of their capability to destroy them, because they see their happiness on social
Yep.
media, or they see their happiness within their regular
Oh my
lives, and they
God.
target these people to try and ruin you. They want to destroy you. They want to take you to another level where you feel like you're just going to lose your shit.
It's like you can't
You
be
can't be
nice.
nice.
You can't be
You can't be
courteous. You can't
courteous. You
want
can't want
good things for
good things for
people.
people.
This ain't what
This ain't what
this ain't the way the
this ain't
world
the way
is.
the world is.
And that's not good.
Yeah, and that's not
And
good.
I'm sorry, that's just
And I'm
not good.
sorry, that's just not good. Yeah, definitely.
I don't
Topic of the day
believe that
would
the
be
world was meant
that
to be like
particular
this.
error. It's not okay to manipulate a person or manipulate a situation just for the best of your capability, so that way you can come up on a come up off of somebody who worked hard for everything that they have. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's too many women and men that are searching for somebody to be with and lie to them like they love them or they care about them, just so that way they can live off of them. There's too many people that, see you got a good heart and ask you, can they spend the night? And next thing you know, they don't want to get out of your house. They don't want to pay no bills, and they're using you for your place of staying. It's too many people that ask
Right.
you for help at the job, and then when you try to help them, they'll take all their accreditation and then they'll throw you under the motherfucking bus just so that way they could climb over you. There's too many people that ask
Yeah.
people that are musicians to help them with things in the industry, whether it's underground or above, and they just use them as stepping
Mm-hmm.
stones so that way they can cross over a certain place, so that way they can turn around and just destroy them. Everything is all
Right.
about gain. Everything's about gain, bro. But meanwhile, who's really gaining? They ain't gaining shit. Because first of all, you can't live your life off of a lie. You can't say, "Oh, I'm independent,
Right.
I'm strong, I'm taking care of my business," when you not, and you living
And
off of your
that's
man,
it.
or you living off of your girl. You know what I'm saying? There's so many guys and girls that live in other people's houses, that the person works all day, and what they do, be on the phone or whatever, cheating all fucking day, and making
Yeah.
accusations that the person is
I
a
mean,
bad
it's
person.
not
Meanwhile, they're
always a
working 40,
happy
even 60
feeling,
hours a week to
man.
support them. No, it's disgusting. It's tiring. It's got to stop. Eventually, it's got to go. This is the problem we having with
It's just
society.
got
That
to.
society is
Right.
acting like everybody owes them something. Stop acting like
Yeah.
somebody owe you something. Get
And
off your
that's
ass and get it
crazy.
yourself. And stop to
It's
fucking argue with
crazy.
people. Everybody like to argue all the time.
We can't defend
We can't defend that
can't defend that kind of
can't defend
language
that
and
kind of
body
language and
language
body
that
language
is
that
crazy
is
outside. You
crazy
can't
outside.
even
You can't
expect to
even
be
expect to be respected
as a
as
human
a
being
human being.
dealing with life
It
in
is
such a
tiring.
petty
It's
way.
very tiring with all of this pettiness that people got going on. It's tiring.
Right.
It's really disgusting, and it's got to stop eventually. The problem is that how could you decipher who is the bad person? person from the good person.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem. I don't even want to go outside no more. I don't even want to make friends no more.
Yeah.
I don't even want to deal with the
Yeah.
world unless I'm out there making money.
Yeah.
You
And
can't
I
even
get
try to
that.
make
And
friends
that's
no more.
it.
You can't even try to
And
deal with
that's
nothing.
it. And
Just going to the
that's
store gives
exactly
me
right.
anxiety
That's
that I'm
exactly
going to
right.
run into something wicked around the way getting to the store.
Look, I had that
Look, I
same
had that
problem
same
today.
problem today.
Today, I literally
Today,
just
I
went through
literally
that
just
this
went through that
morning. I
this
went to the
morning. I went
store.
to the
Thank
store.
God you were
Thank
on the
God you
phone
were
with
on
me. I
the
swear to
phone with
God,
me.
I
I
just
swear
did
to God,
not
I just did
feel
not feel
myself. This
myself.
whole area
This
I've
whole
Right.
lived
area
in
I've
the
lived
last
in the
year. I've only been here 6 months. August this last year was the year that I moved into this area. Since I've been here,
since I've been here, there have been
on this block alone. That's real
that's
shit.
real shit.
Oh,
That's
you
the
good?
problem. That's not me. That's he coughing his ass off. But that's the whole thing. It's just that, I felt the same way. Like this morning, I prayed, I got to go to court. I got to go against my own child because she is coming against me and trying to make me lose my home. And then I started to
Mm-hmm.
think the year, last year, dealing with somebody who was a narcissistic psychopath that tried to control my life and physically harm me. And then the year before that, dealing
Right.
with a situation with my baby father with drug abuse and him physically trying to harm me, trying to make me lose everything. It's like, how many years am I going to
Mm.
go through this? How many times? And it's not like I said earlier, I said, you don't know the robber. If you knew that you was about to be robbed, you would stop the
You
situation. If
wouldn't.
you knew your car was about to get
You would
hit,
stop.
then you would stop the situation. If you knew that if by eating a certain food you're gonna get sick, you wouldn't eat it. But that's the thing is that you cannot
That's true.
prepare yourself for these things that happen when you meet these people because you want to have a good heart and look at people like you can be caring and actually try to be there for them. And you're looking at them as a normal person in society, but in all reality, they are definitely not. They definitely are just
No.
people that are looking to come on a come up on everybody. And these are just
Mm-hmm.
certain people in the world that just have this emotion. And it's so sad that nobody speaks on it because it's very destructive
Mm-hmm.
emotionally, physically. It affects you. I'm tired, I'm drained, I'm exhausted. Depression, PTSD episodes from the attacks and the physical parts of it, of being abused. It's just different things. Like, I know people are feeling this out there, but nobody
Oh,
wants to talk
absolutely.
about it. And then, like, in the Bible it says like children will come against the parents that people will be, so many things that to do with people being in
So
turmoil with
many
each
things
other.
to do with the
Do with the
opposite
opposite
things that
things
of
that of
God,
God,
that
that
are
are not
God
of
being
God being
praised,
praised,
and the
and the
things that
things that
are
are
of God
of
being
God being
shunned.
shunned.
Yes.
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
When you
When you
analyze how this
analyze how
world
this
is
world is
turning,
turning,
and we sit
and we
here and
sit
we
here
say
and we
yes
say
to all
yes
of
to
these
all of these
many new
many new
things that we've
things that
said
we've said
yes to
yes
and been
to and been
okay with,
okay
and
with,
been
and been
admissive
admissive
to,
to,
You
submissive
can no
in
longer give your
nature.
heart to anybody. You cannot trust
No.
anyone. You cannot trust your own family. You can't trust your own friends you knew for years. You cannot trust any new relationships. You cannot trust anybody with your financial information to your ID, to your social anymore. You can't trust a
No.
damn soul. You don't know what they're capable of
No.
doing and what the actual,
People are
backdrop of
crazy.
what they're doing,
I
why
just
they do it.
realized that
that
over the
over the
last
last
couple months
couple
now, I'm
months now,
starting
I'm
to see
starting to see
something
something
suspicious in my
suspicious in
social
my social
security
security
information.
information.
So, like,
So,
it
like,
started
it
to
started to
show
show
reference of
reference of
something that I
something that
don't
I
even
don't
know how
even
to
know how
handle
to
right now
handle right
because
now
it could
because
be
it could
somebody
be
using
somebody
my
using my
information.
information.
I've had a
I've had a
situation where my
situation where
number
my
has
number
been
has
issued
been
to
issued to
someone
someone
illegally,
illegally,
and they have
and they have
used it
used
to
it to
better advantage
better advantage
themselves, and it
themselves, and
takes
it
over
takes
a
over a
situation that I
situation
have
that
to
I
now
have to now
address.
address.
See, now that's what I'm talking about. Me as well. I had to do with experience because of being in a relationship, a man that I met online. Now I have to worry about, he had my social security number, my ID accessible to him because we did stay with each other for some time. He moved into my apartment and then he moved
Right.
out when I asked him. So now I don't know if he has my children's social security numbers as well. So now I'm looking at
See what
like
I'm
numbers
saying?
dropping on the credit bureau side and I'm trying to dispute things and I'm trying to find out. I found out that he tried to even open a business in my name. And this is somebody that I decided to trust because they put a fake reality in front of me. And this is the problem. People say, oh, it's your fault because you didn't pay attention. Or the worst thing somebody could say is, oh, well, shit happens, but that you got to think about it. You learned your lesson because that was because you decided to put yourself in that situation. You don't know the robber that's robbing your house until they already robbed your
That's right.
house.
That's right.
So you don't know what's going to
That's
happen. That's
absolutely
why we
right.
have to always pay attention to every little sign. And even sometimes there's no signs. That's another thing I was talking about with
Mm,
Hendrix the other
mm,
day. He's like, oh, you should have
mhm.
known the signs and paid attention. This person was into pedophilia.
No,
This person was a
everything does
rapist. Or this
not
person
have
was
a
into
clear
drug abuse.
sign for you to recognize
Exactly.
or be able to predict something bad from it.
You don't
That's
know anybody anymore.
honesty.
Exactly. They are so professional at hiding themselves, these people that have been doing this for so
Hmm.
many years. And if they're in their 40s already or 30s, they've been getting away with it for 10, 20 years. They've been doing this to many, many people before you. You're just
Right.
another victim
You're
of
just one
whatever it is
person
that
in the
they're
way.
doing. Exactly. So they are meant to
Hmm.
do this. You got to look out for signs of people asking you too much information about yourself too quickly. When you're dating somebody,
Mm.
you want to be
Yes.
careful when they ask you about your FICO score, or if they ask about your living situation so quickly and then try to like love bomb you, which means like throw, oh my God, I'm in love with you, or you're the perfect one for me, or I can't be without you, and they're constantly gripping to you very quickly. Because when they do that, you don't know if they're doing that because they know that you're seeking out somebody relationship wise, but you're more financially stable than they are. So they are trying
Right.
to submit their way into your life to destroy you. There's a lot of people out
Mm.
there. We are in a real bad economic recession, and nobody wants to
Mm.
think about that. But we and they may not be advertised out there that we're in a recession, but we really are. The rent is skyrocketed. Taxes are not coming in the way they used to. They took a lot of things out, so we're
Mm-mm.
not getting a lot of money back. The jobs are not paying money enough to be living on a regular budget.
Living
So exactly. So
living
people
a
are
living a life, a normal life. Are you kidding me? How do you pay for a $1,600 rent tag when you're barely making $500 a week?
yes. This
Let's
is
be
the problem
serious
that's going
here.
on. Leave it on. That's why I'm saying that the thing is, that's why some people are really just looking for somebody to be with so that way they can actually live off of them, or
Live.
they can try to use them for something, or think that, oh well, they look at your financial bracket and you're budgeting for the monthly year cost of living and think, okay, well, they're paying everything on their own, so why not just sneak in beside and say, I love you, oh, you're the best person I ever been with, because they are not financially stable. You want to ask questions to people and don't be shy
Right.
about it. A lot of people dating don't ask those specific questions of what do you do for a
Specific
living,
questions.
or how long have you been out of
Mm.
work, or when was the last time you had a place, or do you stay with anybody, do you have your own apartment, or
Do
are
you
you in
live on your
college,
own?
or
Are
what, do
you
you
able
live
to
on your
take care
own?
of yourself?
Exactly, because you know what the problem is, they can't take care of themselves, and a lot majority of the time we're talking like over 50% of the poverty
We
level
go through so it's
community
easy to
is basically
determine.
someone living off of somebody else, or trying to find their way to weasel their way into somebody else's life that's stable, so that way they can just use them. But it's sad because
Right.
usually when you're working a lot and independent like how I am, and you feel lonely, yeah, so you
Mm.
want to try to date. But when you go to date and you're really looking at it like, okay, well, it seems like this person likes me, but then you're seeing things about them that, give it time. Don't jump into bed with them right away. Give it time. Let them run themselves into the mud.
Right.
Because if you give somebody a couple of weeks, like another thing, like what I do is I ask somebody a question, and then I wait a couple of weeks or a couple of days and I ask them the same question again, and let's see if the answer is the same. Because sometimes people forget their lies. And then you can catch them right
Right.
there. Okay, this is not a truthful person, a loyal person, because they have three different stories for the situation. So that's another
Hmm.
pointer towards, happy Valentine's Day to everybody. We're talking about love. So love, and
Yeah.
what's the difference between somebody actually loving you and are you sure they love you, or are they using you for financial stability?
Yeah.
Are
You're
you
right.
sure that they love you, or is it only because you can buy them that dinner and that chocolate for that moment because they want some self gratification and they want it now, and they don't care who they get it from,
Mm.
and they don't care who they hurt. They will give you
Right.
everything that you allow them. So if you explain to somebody, like dating, you usually say, this is what I'm looking for in an individual, that I'm looking for long term, and this is what I want. You got to be careful with what
Right.
your answers
Right.
are, because they will create a fictitious person at times if they're a bad character to try to fit the need that you are looking for,
Mm.
if that makes sense. And
Okay.
then after a while, you have to wait till the truth comes out. The truth comes out. They cannot keep up these characteristics more than a month. So you have to really just give yourself
Mm.
time before you get
Give
serious with a
yourself
person.
time.
yourself time.
Exactly. Give yourself time and enough dignity and respect to really love yourself enough to hold off on sleeping with them, hold off with financially helping them, or hold off on moving
Mm.
in with them, or helping them, fix their car or whatever the case, because you want to have a good heart. Because most of the time
Yeah.
they're trying to see
Yeah.
how much they can get from you,
They just
and
trying to
is it
see
worth
how much
them?
they
See
can
how
take
much they
from
can
you.
take from you.
Yes. That's the problem now. Now we're not dealing with love. Love is like a financial agreement. Can you pay half the bills? Can you put up with half of my shit? And then people say they
Yeah.
want to get married or they want a serious relationship, but in all reality, they just want somebody that they can have as a
Help take
recovery
care of half
Take
the
blanket.
care of half
bills.
the bills.
They want somebody that they can feel comfortable with financially and
Secure.
be able to secure. Yeah, they want a security blanket. They don't really want a
Mm-hmm.
person that they want to love for the rest of their life. Some people are not even sure what they want. They say they want to
Financial
commit,
Financial
obligation.
and they
obligation.
yeah they want a financial obligation, so that way you can
Mm-hmm.
just be there and they would be secure financially, but they're still going to be on apps, they're still going to sleep with an ex, they're still going to talk to whoever talks to them on social media because they have a low
Wow.
self-esteem issue. And then little
Mm-hmm.
by little, as you're watching them, their self-esteem will show you. You will see them come out very, distraught. Eventually they'll say you're
Yeah.
annoying them, or they'll try to disagree with you with a lot of things, and then it really comes out that they really didn't like you. They just like the way that you live. They just like that you can give them a
Yeah.
better life than what they had. And then they start to just
Mm-hmm.
come out little by little to realize that the value that you thought you had, that they had for you, was in fact a lie, and they actually had no worth for you except for financial.
Financial.
And you can tell in the sex, you can tell in the sex, you can tell in the conversations. Like in the beginning, they call you all the time. You want to see them, you want to spend time with them, and you're excited because it's something new, makes you feel young, everything is great. And after
Mm-hmm.
that point, so they call that the honeymoon state in psychology.
Yeah.
So, so it's
Yeah.
a honeymoon state. Everything is fantastic, and it feels like you're high off of love. But in reality,
Oh,
give it some
absolutely.
time. Give it some time, because you really are infatuated and confused with the emotions that they're showing you that they have, because they are trying to
Mm-hmm.
fulfill every little void that you showed them that you were lacking and you were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be
Yep.
careful. There are a lot of people that are very calculated, and they know that you are a better situation from them from where they were standing, and they will make you think
Mm.
that they love you, and they will say everything just to make sure that you can keep them financially stable and not living in their parents'
Yeah.
house or the street. And in all
Mm-hmm.
reality, they might not even be
And it,
sexually
and it,
sexually attracted to you.
right. It
Right.
could be
It
just the
could be
fact
just
that
the
you
fact
pay
that
your
you pay
bills on
your
time.
bills on time.
Exactly. Or the
It
fact that
could
you
be
pay their
just
phone
that
bill on
simple.
time.
Yeah.
Sir, yeah.
That's it. And that's the problem, is
That's
that we confuse it because we're lonely and we're single and we're trying to get our lives together as human beings. We want to create and procreate with somebody, a better lifestyle, because it's very
yeah.
difficult with one income, and you have two incomes is better. But then you have always one person that's too greedy, or you have somebody that's
Yeah.
already expecting and obligated for you to do something. And when you say, no, I cannot do that because I have prior things to take care of, here we go with the argument, because they want their
Yeah.
way, because they only got with you because they want what they want financially from you. But they are
Right.
going to cover it with love. So there's a sheer cover that
Oh
they,
yeah, they're
but
gonna
I
make it
love you,
seem as
sweetheart.
if it's a
But
sheer
I'm in love
simple
with you.
thing.
But you're my everything. But in all reality, when you walk away, you don't know if they're having sex with somebody screaming out "I love you" 1,000 times to the next person. You don't know that.
Mm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that word, those three words, "I love you," is something of human nature that we naturally want. But the real love
Yeah.
is really from God. The real love is really from us loving ourselves. The real love is emanating the gift of the Holy Spirit's power within our spirit to be able to give positivity to the
Hmm.
world with the creations of the music that we do, with the creations of just the artistry or the podcasting that we do, everything just to reconnect out to the world. That is the real love.
Hmm.
What do you feel about that, PZ? What do you feel, Jay?
Oh
Oh
man, like
man, that,
it's hard
it's
to
hard to
believe
believe
in
in
true
true
love
love
and
and
true,
true,
like the
like the
trueness of
trueness
people being
will being
their earnest
their
self.
earnest self.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
know what
Like
I'm
it's
saying?
hard to
Like it's
sit and
hard to
take
sit
that
and take
because
that because
somebody
somebody
you may
you
come
may come
across
across
who is
who is
genuine, earnest, like they speak what they mean, they move in a way that suggests that that's what they are to you, that's what they want you to portray them as. But in so many ways you just, it's so hard to believe a person
to
because we
because
have
we have
designed
designed
ways for the
ways
human
for the
nature
human
to
nature
become
to
so
become so
manipulative
manipulative
that we
that
even
we even
walk a
walk
certain way
a
to
certain
convince
way to
people that
convince
something,
people that something
just so we can make them
just so we
believe
can
like
make them
this is what
believe
we
like
are,
this is what
when
we
it's
are
not even our
when
true nature. It's some crazy
it's some
shit
crazy
when you
shit
think about
Exactly.
it.
when you think about it.
But the thing is that it's a fear of not having. It's the fear of not being seen as normal or as society accepts as normal, what they created. It's
And
the fear
and
of
again,
not
we
being
get to the question
accepted.
that becomes a new
Becomes a
question.
new
It's
question.
not even the
It's not
old
even the
question,
old
it's a new
question. It's a
question
new
because
question because
it's a new
it's a new
nature of
nature of
normal. What is
normal. What is
normal?
normal?
So normal is no normal. The new normal is abnormal. So if that makes any
It's
sense.
It's
always been an
always been an
abnormal.
abnormal.
Yeah. See,
That's the
people are
problem. Like
confused.
people
They're
don't
People
confused.
see
don't
Yeah.
or
see or
understand that
understand that
normal
normal
has taken
has
on
taken
such a
on such a
new level
new
of
level of
acknowledgement now
acknowledgement now
that we don't
that
even
we
know
don't
what
even
to
know
say
what to
normal
say
is
normal
anymore.
is anymore.
I mean, to some people, normal is one man and one woman together in a unity trying to, you know, create
Make
an
it
atmosphere
work.
of building a life. And then normal to some people is polygamous relationships. And normal to other people are is
Absolutely.
being promiscuous and drug abuse. And that is normal to the rest of the world. And another normal is, nudity and being comfortable with it to be, promiscuous and to not really care what anybody's feeling is, and sexuality just
Yeah.
emptiness of
Exhibitionary.
sex, exhibitionary, just creating an atmosphere of, okay, so we're here, so let's just get high and have sex with everybody in this room. So everybody has
Right.
their own
Right.
normal. It's a little ridiculous if you think about it.
Uh-huh. It is. And we call this a nature of sorts. You know what I'm saying? But whereas we're the only kinds of animals in the planet that act like this. Let's look at that. No
Yeah,
other species on this
Species
planet
on this planet
does that.
does that.
that's the problem. The problem is that, being from generational changes, people's in their 30s and 40s, we look at it as normal as what our parents tried to create as normal. And, look at the
Right.
40s and the 50s. In the 1940s and 50s, it was normal for a man to go to work and the woman to be a homemaker, and for the man to come bring his
Mm-hmm.
check to his wife so she can budget out the bills and give him back his own allowance. But then we got in
Yep.
the 1970s and 80s that the women started to be a little more empowered, and they started to go out to work,
Mm-hmm.
and they would sit on the bed with the husband, and they would create an atmosphere of, these are the bills, honey, let's figure this out. And then they'd split the money between each
Right.
other. Now we got from the 90s till
Right.
now, where it's more about, who can I take from, because there's so
I'm gonna
much
do
money I
me.
don't even know where it's going to come from, and it doesn't matter about
Nope.
relationship. I'm going to lie to anybody I need to because I need to survive.
I need to pay
And
this
that's
bill.
just it. And there's exactly, so you still have some people that believe in the strong structure of what America used to be, but then you have others
Right.
that are like using that capability to manipulate that theory in their mind
Manipulate the
with their
motherfucking system.
characteristics. Exactly, they're manipulating the theory of that person's mind of a perfect mate, and they are replicating it so that way they can feed into the need of the person of what they're looking for, so they can sneakily be like a
So they can
beast
leech off
underneath
it.
the, yeah, they can definitely, they will, women, there's women that I know that they spend so much money on their hair, their nails, and fitness, and trying to upkeep a look just so that way they can get their bills paid by that look by men. And then there's
Absolutely.
men that are very vicious, and they get money whichever way, legal or illegal, but they feel that because they are in a level of a financial bracket that they should have a huge amount of offering towards women, to the point where they can have any woman they want. So even if they
Yeah.
take one woman, they make them feel like you should be happy you're with me, because there's other guys out there
Yeah.
that can't even buy
I
you a
could have went
burger.
every. I could have went
I
somewhere
could have
else.
went somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. So I have so much that you should be happy because I could have anybody, but I
Right.
chose you.
Right.
And that's the meaning to
Hmm.
another person that's trying to get together. So we have all these issues of relationships, and then they want to talk about Valentine's Day being a beautiful thing. That was downtown in Orlando this morning. All these women with red dresses, and I went to the civil court, and they were having a big, they were having a mass wedding for like 50 to 75 people were getting married today in Orlando courthouse. And they were, a lot of them wearing red dresses, white dresses, and whatnot. But I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for documentation to evict somebody. And I'm sitting here looking at these people like, which out of all of these people here, which ones are really just getting married for the money? Which ones really do have some kind of love for each other?
Where's
At
the
this
real
point,
love?
is it really love? Is it just a financial stability issue? Is it really just because my parents like this guy more than the other? Is it because they're, in their late 40s and they're just afraid of dying alone? You know what I mean? So, or is it because of some type of legal, trying to get into the country and they need to legalize being married? There's so many different reasons why people get married, but barely any of them are because they love each other.
Nope.
Barely any of them
And I
love
get
each
it. And I
other.
get it.
Yeah, it's not even about love anymore. It's so sad. There's no
I get
love,
it.
bro.
But what are you
It's so
gonna do? What are you
sad.
gonna do?
What are you going to do is protect yourself. That's what you're going to do. You're going to protect yourself. You're going to start looking how to create yourself an atmosphere that is very fierce against everything that's evil in this world. You're going to start trying to move your energy fields towards a better life for yourself, instead of focusing on
Hmm.
a person to be with. It's more about just love yourself, and if God wants that person to be with you, then go ahead. But it's all about how much do you really want to deal with. When I think about relationships, I think about,
Right.
it's not about, can I fuck anybody? Yeah, you can fuck anybody you want. It's not about that. Why would you want empty sex? It's
No.
stupid. So when you think about it, it's more or less like you have to worry about, how much do I want to invest? How much am I going to invest in this one? That's how I look at it. Oh, this person has this many kids, or this person doesn't have any kids. I wonder why at this age they should have it by now. Or this person is working this job, or they went through 5 jobs already in the last freaking 3 months. What is that about?
Wow.
Or you have to think about,
Exactly.
what is it that they're looking for in me? Why do they find an interest in me? Could it be just a sexual attraction? Because that's a possibility. Or is it because
That's
they are
always a
really looking
possibility.
at, yeah, or is it because their home living situation is not okay, and they are not talking on that, and they are really just trying to move in your house?
Right.
Or they're just trying to move you to their state so they can move in your house because they have nowhere else to go.
Yeah. It's
I
always
mean,
there.
so
It's just so many possibilities in the world today, especially with the fact that there's so many people out. I just read a report that was saying there's over 600,000 people in the streets right now.
I believe it.
And
I
it's
believe
just
it, but see,
insane.
but look at that. Over 500,000 people in the street, and how many are good looking, and how many of them are, hey baby, what's up? Let me buy you something.
Yeah.
And then they try to, whatever little money they have, they try to invest it to confuse you, so that way you can go ahead and open the door to Pandora's box, and then next thing you know, you have this huge problem
There
of
you go.
how do I get rid of this person or this situation, or we're not compatible now, and they don't want to hear that you're not
Yep.
compatible because you have to be compatible because your financial bracket might have been more compatible than your emotional state.
It's higher than
It's
theirs.
higher than theirs.
Exactly. But this
It's
is the
exactly
problem.
where
Then
they
you don't
look
want to
at
be
you.
just. But see, this is the opposite of that. It's like, okay, so how do I even try to date? Because then I don't want to be one of those
When that's
people.
When that's
exactly the
exactly the
that's
that's
literally some of the
literally some
things
of the
that you
things that
see
you see
nowadays in the world
nowadays in the
today.
world today.
Single
Single
people out here in
people
the
out
world
here in the
are
world
very
are
much
very
in a
much
world
in a
of their
world of
own.
their own.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
I'm
that to
saying
be
that
honest
to
with
be
you
honest
because
with
I
you
really
because I
don't
really
see
don't see
where
where
commitment,
commitment,
devotion,
devotion,
any of these
any of
things
these
that
things
value
that
doesn't
value
exist.
marriage
marriage
are even
are
in
even
their
in their
peripheral
Vocabulary.
view.
peripheral view.
They're not even in the view. They can't even
It's not in
listen.
their
Not
view
in
at
their view
all.
at all.
No, they can't commit. They can't commit because you know why? Social media has all that ass on it and has all these
All
people
these artists out
thinking
here
that they could
talking
just
about your
jump
pussy
around on
hole
each other.
pink and their booty hole brown and all this
Brown,
shit.
yeah, because that's
What
all
is
it's
this?
about. That's all it's about.
And I
And
said
I
this to
said this to
myself
myself
yesterday,
yesterday,
and I said it to
and I said it
myself
to
this
myself
morning when
this
I
morning
jumped
when
on
I
live
jumped on
stream on
live stream on
Instagram. For
Instagram.
any of y'all
For
that's
any of
checking
y'all
out,
that's
go to
checking
Mr.
out,
J
go to
Guns
Mr. J
official and
Guns
check out the
official and
live
check out
stream
the
I
live
did
stream
this
I did
morning.
this morning.
I'm just telling
I'm
you
just telling
basically
you
what I
basically what
feel.
I
And
feel.
I said
And
it
I said
because I
it
want
because
you
I
to
want you to
understand that I
understand
do
that
this
I do
show
this show
because I
because
love
I love
music.
music.
I love the
I love
artists
the
that
artists
create
that
it
create it
and their
and the
story behind
story
it.
behind it.
Because it's the
Because it's the
music that
music
we
that
go
we
through
go
our
through our
lives with.
lives with.
We
We
don't
don't
understand how much
understand
of an
how much of an
instrument music
instrument
has
music
been
has
to the
been to the
human
human
race
race
Well, you know,
in general.
in general.
the origination of music wasn't hymns. The original musicians were the angels with the harps. And when you thought about music, it was Psalms in the Bible. The entire book of Psalms
Angelic
is
Angelic
beings.
songs. They were literally songs. They were actual songs. If you look at the history of the book of Psalms, Psalms, that book was the first original artistry ever in history because that was
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
hymns and harmonic songs that were for God.
Yep.
So that's why
Yep.
they say, you know, be careful what comes out of your mouth. And Jesus says it doesn't defile man what comes out of his mouth, but what goes into his mouth, but out of his mouth. So what it doesn't defile
Hmm.
a man what goes into his mouth, like the food he's eating, but what comes out of his mind, his
Out.
mouth defiles the man's soul. And it's because of
Yeah.
with our voices. It coming, our voice boxes are coming from our inner spirit, and the inner spirit is being
Yes.
powered by the soul. The soul is also a piece of a grain of sand from the Holy Spirit, each one of our souls. So when you look into
Yeah.
that as a musician, and I'm guilty of it myself, having some trap and drill and some hardcore hip hop
Yeah.
songs
I mean,
sometimes,
come on.
and
I'm
some
an
our
artist.
lyrics
artists.
our lyrics are literal, um, like chanting. Lyrics
Yeah.
to every
It
song is like
is.
chanting. So for her, like that girl, Sexy Red, talking about butthole brown and pussy, whatever the fuck, that shit is just
Right.
literal, like a paganistic chant.
It is.
Because it's
That's all
basically
it is.
That's all it is.
all of these sex-induced songs are all these songs of promiscuity or drug addictions or sales of drugs and killing people. All these things are basically like chants with the
Chant.
paganistic beliefs
Of a
because
negative
because
frequency.
Frequency.
yeah, because if you know, like, witchcraft itself, it really is,
Hmm.
what do? They're repeating words, and then they're believing in
Right.
those words, and then they're putting their faith into it. And what Jesus said, with faith you can move mountains. So whatever you put
Yes.
your beliefs into is what is going to create an atmosphere for it to move, because you're given a power from God
Manifestation.
to manifest that emotion.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's how
Yeah.
that works.
It is what you produce from your mouth that you manifest into the world. It is just that way. And that is why so many people think about it in the sense of why monks take a vow of silence. Like, just think about that part of it.
We're all
You
guilty
know,
of it because we all are of the flesh. So we are eventually
right,
going to be in
right.
to this same problem that we don't realize it. It's just letting our minds go onto the instrumental. I do it myself too. But these monks take the
Yep,
vows of
yep.
silence against things is because, like you said, what defiles you is what comes out of your mouth. That is the problem, and the problem is that with our human nature and our ability to hear and to see, or whatever the case,
Ability to be
it
imperfect.
yeah, to take in all of those things that are happening. It's kind of like we have no way to get all of it out of our spirit. Our spirits are like capsules, and
Nope.
we get stuck having it stuck inside of us, like all of these things going on. So that's why we close ourselves into the instrumental, and we publish these
Hmm.
things into the public area because we don't want them in our spirit anymore, in our minds, in our
No,
theories. And
no.
that's why musicians, I believe, are a little bit like able to get into different dimensions emotionally and
Dimension.
mentally, and be able to move
Hmm.
and create other people's emotions within their spirit. We
Yep,
hit a
yep.
plateau in their mind of our storylines and our basis of our lyrics that people sometimes are scarred by in their mind for years and years to come, of lyrics that
Hmm.
we have created. And I mean, the other day I had a friend of mine that just came out of nowhere and said something I said in a song like 2 years ago, and I'm like, I don't even remember that song. But that's what made me think that we have to be more careful, with the power that we're given to be able to serve the
Right,
communities
right.
online. And I'm guilty of it because everybody knows I got some
That's
crazy shit out
absolutely the
there.
thing.
Listening to Relia, if you go to my Relia 3206 YouTube, you'd be like, "What? This girl tripping?" Because sometimes I have some strong stuff about God, but sometimes I have some downright. I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna come get you with a freaking M80 or something and a blowtorch or something. I don't know. You know what I
It's
mean? But
it's
it's just the whole emotional state of what you feel
it's the
on that daily
craziest thing
feeling.
because of how we
Yeah,
have to be. How we have to be in order to appeal to the natural world of the world around us. So many people are impacted by what these new artists are saying, are doing out here in the world, that is more impressive and impeding to your mind, and to a point where you feel like this is the way it should be in order
it,
for me to
yeah.
see any clarity in your life. And it's the worst thing ever, because we've gone and given value to something that should never have been put up on a pedestal that high.
But the problem with that, what I see with that, is that you're completely right about that. It impedes into our minds, into our spirits, and then we have to release it somehow. And you have these people that think that hip hop is a basis of violence, sex, and drugs when it's really not. Hip hop is
Mm,
really whichever way that you want to create it. There's so many micro genres of hip hop. And I see a lot of people I've met over the time working as an artist for the last 3 years online.
mhm,
You know, I've met people that I really heard their music and really liked some of their stuff, but it was like some stuff go hard. But then when you talk to them, they live in the suburbs all their lives. They've never lived in
right. Never
in a
experienced that kind of
predominantly
life.
poor neighborhood like I have, yeah, or like you
Right.
have. So they really have no right to be speaking on these things, but they feel that that is the area of where it's driven them to. So they want to create these atmospheres, and they want to act like they were toting guns, selling drugs, or women, or whatever the case may be. But meanwhile, they live predominantly middle class life, and they really don't realize that that's offensive to people like us that didn't were unfortunate to have to live in poverty.
Listen, we
You know what
didn't
I'm saying? For so
have
many
nothing
years.
to be fortunate about. We're living
Exactly.
through the lifestyles of people that are trying to just get through day to day,
See,
a
that's the
24
problem, though.
hour period.
That's the
It's
problem that I'm
people.
seeing, though.
I,
That these
I
people
I know
they
what you
think it's
mean,
okay,
and I
but
know
it's like,
exactly what you mean, because I've
yeah,
sat
I couldn't
and I've
believe
sit
it.
in, in my little silence of being blind, and just knowing that I can go out and speak to people that I've been able to meet people that are just miserable because they're living in their one bedroom apartment, and they got all these things that they need to take care of, and yet their only concern is the fact that they don't have that
one
that
thing
they've
that
been
they've
talking
been
about their
talking
whole
about their
life,
whole
but it's
life,
something
but
that
it's
they
something
have
that
tried so
they
hard to
have
reach a
tried
level
so
to
hard to
even get
reach a
close to
level
it
to
that
even
they
get
don't even
close to it,
realize that
that
they
they don't
just
even
really
realize that
been
they
beating a
just
dead
really
horse
been
because
beating a
it's not
dead
in their
horse
character.
because it's not in their character.
That's what
It's
I
not
when
even
I
in
see
their
people
character
like
to do
that.
it.
Their character to do it.
Yeah, when I see artists like that or production teams that are doing that, what I tell them is be yourself. Be happy with whatever it is that happened in your life that you didn't have to endure. It's not something that I'm proud to say, oh, I lived in many ghetto places, or that I was involved with,
Listen,
people that were in gangs, or it's not okay that, I went to jail a certain amount of times in my life. Like, I'm not okay with that. It
no,
took a lot to be able to change my life and to realize that, that's where the heart of my problems come from in my music, is because that
right,
created PTSD, that created depression issues, the abuse and everything I've been through, that I have to just
right,
release it within the beat, so that way I can feel like I can reach those people who have been through similar situations through my lyrics, and comfort them to know they're
right.
not alone with these things that happened at all, and it's not okay, and we should speak on them, instead of these
Hmm.
people that have better lives than we have, by choice, maybe hereditary, their family were more rich, or, just everything that they've been through, that they should be grateful to God to have not lived bad lives like we went through or whatever. But
Right.
instead, they're kind of being fictitious, acting like they're part of mafia or gangs, or they sold drugs when they've never even sold lemonade in front of the house because they never had to.
Never had to.
Never
I
had
mean,
to.
just the thought
I
No.
of
mean,
them
just the thought
having
of
to
them
do
having
certain
to do
things like
certain
that
things like
irritates
that
them even
irritates
at the
them
thought
even
of
at
it.
the thought of it.
Yes.
For
For
them to
for
even
them to
provoke
even
certain
provoke
things like
certain
that in
things
their
like that
lyrics,
in their lyrics,
it
it
reminds you of
reminds you
how
of how
imitation a person
imitation a
can
person
be.
can be.
But that's the whole way of the social media outlets. Social media is a completely fictitious world. And you see the best of the
Oh,
quality of everybody's life, but you don't see the actual life itself. And in the times, those
yep,
people have these depression issues because they didn't mount up to be their mother or father making the $500,000 a year or whatever bill, or because they
right,
didn't have, the same life like everyone else, because they were a little more privileged than everyone else, and they feel like out of place when they speak to other people that have been through more. So they feel like they're not sufficient
hmm,
enough, and they feel that it's okay and it's cool to provoke the person that has gone through the worst. Like all these rappers with these diss tracks against people. And my thing with diss
yep,
tracks is like,
Yep.
you should not be putting somebody's child who died inside of a song, or you should not be provoking somebody who had a mental
that's
breakdown,
terrible.
or somebody who lost their parents, and talking about their parents. This
Right,
is childish. This is really repulsive. It's disgusting. I won't listen to it. I won't promote it. I think it's something of bad behavior and demonic to really push somebody to an edge
yeah,
of almost suicide,
it
because
is.
you want to talk about their
It's not a
personal
good
It's not
issues.
way
a good
to
way to
present yourself as
present
an
yourself
artist
as an
either.
artist either.
It's just
It's
a
just
way for
a
you
way
to
for you to
become
become
villainized.
villainized.
But see, the
Like
problem is
seriously.
that people like to listen to things like that because they're nosy and because they like gossip and like drama. So that's why they end up trending them on BandLab.com, or they start putting them around and viral on YouTube or something, because
Yeah,
it's disrespectful and it's overwhelming and it's shocking. But if you look at the world right now, you'll see more people, you know, and like the fails of them actually getting hurt and losing use of their legs or their arms or anything, and that will go viral of somebody getting shot or something, versus
right.
somebody who has a good message, something that's good. That's how
Or
you know that
what we're doing
What
right
we're
now.
doing
Yeah.
right now.
exactly like what we're doing right now,
Yep.
because the social media and the Google, everything is run by satanic cults, I believe. That's my own theory. It's paganistic,
And I mean,
and they
hell,
are
I just read
promoting.
I just read
something on
something
YouTube
on
that was
YouTube
saying
that
that.
was
I
saying
mean,
that.
Google is run
Google
by
is
a
run by a
satanic person.
satanic person.
You know, I mean, and here we
And
are
here
on
we are
YouTube
on
and trying
YouTube
to
and
speak to
trying to
you on
speak to you on
Facebook and
Facebook
Twitch,
and
but
Twitch,
it's
but it's
honestly a
honestly
space
a
where
space where
it's the
it's
best
the
and the
best
worst
and the
place to
worst place
be
to
at the
be at the
time like
But
this.
that
You
it's
gotta
everything.
speak
It's
this truth.
Monster Company, it's Google, it's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's TikTok. They're all created by these people that are in the
Hmm.
elite, the elite societies. And what do the elite societies believe in? Satanic cults, you know. There's a lot of
Right.
different paganistic views that we're not seeing, that we're basically, they're trying to mend them into our lives because we use these outlets on a daily basis, and they are
Right.
basically targeting us, the Christianity community, and the people that are trying to live righteous. They're basically trying to get them to just fail at everything and create an
Fall
atmosphere
victim.
of to fall into what they want us to be like them. That's
Hmm.
the thing. I heard you.
They are
They they're
harpenters
trying.
of the dark word.
The dark world
Let's
is
just
already
say it.
here now. You know, like the devil is here, and he is definitely with all of his legions, and they're going to attack every
Yeah.
one of us that is trying to fight for righteousness and trying to find the truth of the light so we can bring it to others. So this is like
Right.
something that's way beyond even music that we're having an issue with. You know, I barely even like to stream on social media anymore because you see a lot of really nasty things on there lately. You know, whether it's somebody
Yeah.
making fun of
You're
somebody who
right.
died, or somebody trying to pick at somebody that wants to fight, and daughters talking about their mothers, sons talking about their fathers, people running
I
into stores and
swear.
beating up the worker at the register, or just you see like children getting abused and being part of the war, and bloody children all over the place in Palestine and all these other things like that. There's nothing good in view wise on social media
No.
that can change your heart, and the stuff that's really positive, like positive energy
It's barely
or
getting
invoking
noticed.
good energy. Yeah, it's very hard to get it out there because it's not in favor of what their whole mission is.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's the thing that's been bothering me the most about this, because where we come into this world
wanting
to feel the harmonic love that we've always grew up with. Most of us know what it's like. Us out here that have a family or a father, a mother that can say that they have taken care of them and done for them the best things that they have asked for and they've wanted out of their life, giving them the one thing that no other person can say that they've done for these people. You turn around and you see such a disruption of
Yeah.
like of who cares, and you know what I mean. Like it's a thing for me. It bothers me to know that there are certain people out here in the world that don't really analyze the fact that we are all in this together. This planet is here for us to take care of it. We're supposed to be the we're supposed to be the maintaining shepherds that take care of this planet. Meanwhile, we can't
But
even
this is the
learn how to get
problem.
along with
We can't be okay unless we look at the vipers. There's so many snakes, so many people just trying to manipulate us to be like them because they know that they're not worthy of the lamb, they're not worthy of the hallway into the gates of heaven because of their works.
Mm.
Their works on the earth is what is getting them to that point that they can't really be saved, and there's some people even singing about it. I know I'm going to hell, or they have all these sixes and all different things that's going on because they feel they're not worthy of God to be able to save because they have created an atmosphere so vicious and malicious towards man that anybody in their own ways they're going to use and manipulate to get the better of the circumstance and the situation and be with the upper hand constantly.
That's
But you see, they could always turn around and change the way that they want to be. And this is what bothers me the most because I know in the Bible it says,
people know.
you bring your brother to the church. If he turns from the church, you turn from him. This is the biggest one I have because when I find somebody like that is fallen and far away and it's hard to talk to them, and I try to give them good guidance and I try to even uplift them in any way I could. It hurts me when they want to downplay me or they want to try to take from me because I'm like, why would you want to take from me if I'm trying to help you? Why would you want to try to manipulate or ruin me or control a situation of me trying to make your life easier? That shit is hurtful because it's kind of like it's like the
It
blind
is.
leading the blind.
It is.
It's kind of like, hey, I know a way out of what you're feeling. I can get you to this way, so why can't you follow me? Instead of trying to get me to follow you. Instead of trying to get me to be
Right.
going through,
Right.
what you're going through. You're not happy where you are, so why can't you try to do what I'm showing you to do to better yourself for the betterment of both of us? But it doesn't work that way
No, it never does.
because those
It never
people,
does. Much as
no,
we would like for it
they've been in their ways.
to.
I hate my neighbor's dog. I swear, her dog is so fucking annoying. I'm gonna go back in the house. I'm outside. This
All
little
right.
dog is too much. I swear, that dog is ridiculous. I let everybody see him for a minute. It's like I don't know what his name is, but he's so fucking annoying. He's a little poofy little terrier. No, I don't want
I
nothing.
knew it had to be
Yeah,
a terrier. That fucker
it's a
sound
little
like a little
terrier.
yipping ass damn.
He's so annoying,
Oh
bro.
Jesus. Oh Jesus.
He aggravates the fuck out of
I
me.
could imagine. I could imagine.
But
I
that's
could
the sad
imagine.
part about it,
Trust me.
because
Trust me.
all we're trying to do is just show love to people and show them how to do
Yeah.
the right thing and show them how to get to where they need to go so that way they can better themselves and then we can be happy for them. But there's some people that don't
Yeah.
want to see us do better. And every time we get a little bit ahead of the step, it bothers them because they're still stagnant.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I get
and
that.
I get that.
Yeah, but it's like, why bring
But
me
it's
down?
not up
If
to
not,
me
why
to
not
try
leave us
to
alone?
no,
I
it's
have
not up to
stopped. I
any of us
stopped.
to try to like convince them
convince
anything.
them
It's
anything.
just
People
produce good work
produce good work
and
I stopped now. I stopped
don't
trying
worry
to help
about the
people
rest.
altogether. At this
For
point,
real.
I'm just
For
staying
real.
away from everybody because I don't know who is like that, and I don't know who is good. I know there's some people say,
It's
"But
never
really,
gonna
I'm
be an
good. I'm a
easy thing to
good-hearted
determine
person.
either.
Yeah, like you could trust me. I'm a good person. I only mean good for you." But then you give it time, and they do some shit that you're like, "What the fuck?" You're like,
Find
damn,
something.
bro, like, why would you do this? Like, that's the thing that bothers me because it's like I try to help them out.
Hmm.
I try to be there, but when I see them looking at me like they're trying to take from me or ruin me or try to destroy something I created or try to make an
Right.
atmosphere of theory, like there's people online obsessed with me for more than 2 years. I was looking at it online. A group of
Hmm.
people that's on bandlab.com that they despise me, but it's because I won't work with them because I already know that they're either prostitution or they're into heavy drug use or abuse. And they are
Hmm.
really pushing it on the other people around us and they're bad influencers of their own life and they're very stagnant with their music. You know what I mean? Even if they have mainstream, it
They've
doesn't matter.
they've
They're
only done
very
a certain
evil.
amount of something.
Yeah, when I see them attack other people or troll other people or create bands just to attack people, you can hear it in their songs, the amount of hate that they have for other people, and I just can't
And it's so
put myself in
unnecessary.
that realm. I'm sorry, I
And it's
blocked
so
them.
unnecessary.
Yeah, and instead they're like, "Oh, I'm a witch, I'm a bitch, I'm a hoe, I'm a this, I'm a that. I got a bunch of men, I don't know where they're at or whatever." They're always saying something, but they don't really know who I am. But really, it's I think the rejection issue. Like you had told me one
Yep.
time, we always have good conversations. Is that they're
Right.
rejecting. They I am rejecting them in my world, so they are feeling
Yeah.
some type of way like they have to
They are
attack about it.
definitely feeling. It is a force that is one that you
that
cannot
you cannot
control because it is an
control because it is an
atmospheric thing.
atmospheric thing.
It is something that
It is
you
something
can't
that
even
you
explain
can't
it for
even
your own
explain it for
self,
your own
but
self,
we
but
know it when
we
it
know it
comes
when it comes
because
because
it's the
it's
same
the
feeling
same
that we
feeling
get
that we get
when someone
when
accepts
someone
you. You know what I'm
accepts you. You
saying?
know what I'm saying?
You
Hmm.
know
You
when they
know when
accept
they
you.
accept you.
You know what I
You
mean?
know what I mean?
Like
Yeah.
it's
Like
that
it's
feeling
that
there,
feeling
that
there
welcoming
that
feeling
welcoming
they
feeling
always
they
bring to
always
you
bring to you when
when you know that person
that
accepts
person
who you are.
accepts who you are.
But that's the
Like
thing.
if
Nobody
you
Like
wants to
can't
if you
accept
feel
can't
that
anybody.
feel
and you
that
don't
and you
feel
don't
that
feel
upon
that
entry,
upon
then
entry,
most
then
times
most
it's not a
times it's not
welcoming
a welcoming
situation.
situation.
Yeah. It's kind of like you got to learn when to step away from people when they just don't want to help themselves and they're continuously in a cycle that
That's it.
That's it.
they can only take out themselves from. You can't remove them from those situations.
No,
No,
And
no. You
it
can't.
hurts a lot of people, but I know a lot of people that have been harmed, emotionally and financially from trying to step in and stop a friend or a good-hearted sister or brother or somebody, anybody in their life, girlfriend or whatever, and say, I'm trying to help you, but like their weight of their own situation becomes such a weight on these other people
Such a
that
weight
it's
on
so
that person.
sad. Yeah, like it's kind of like they find it hard to walk away, but then it kind of drags
It's
their own
overbearing.
spirit. It's overbearing, and they hold on to that weight when they really just need to pray it and give it to God and walk away. Because if you know that you
Hmm.
tried already so many times to help the person, they're not helping themselves. It's really at a point where start thinking about yourself. Start thinking about where you're going and your direction, because it's just going to delay your own, growth. You're not
Yeah,
going to be able
you're gonna
to
continue to
advance.
fall down into it constantly and
and
consistently.
consistently.
It's
And
only
it's
gonna
it's it's
continue to drag you with
it's the biggest thing that
till
it's
you
the
let
worst
go.
thing. Yeah, and it's not easy letting go. I once heard a woman
Never
that is
is.
abused. Yeah, I heard a woman that is abused will never walk away until she's ready to leave the abusive person. Just like a person dealing with a
Hmm.
narcissist is not 100% ready to walk away because they still believe in the first person they made contact with being in existence when there was actually never a person in existence. They just created that person for you to believe that they existed.
Mm.
So this is the problem.
Okay.
Where
Hmm.
there's people that create this atmosphere, and you have this loving certain amount of years or months, and you want to believe that that person still exists in this person. So many years of a relationship can last because you keep thinking, if I do this, maybe they'll act normal again. If I do that, if I try this way, maybe it'll work. But sometimes you have to come to terms with that they created that person for you to believe that that's who they were, but later on when they changed, they didn't really change. They just opened up their layers of their mask and was able to show you who they really were. So
Who
it's
they
like,
really
now
are.
that you've accepted it, which way do you go with it now? You
Right.
know what I mean? And that
That
was the biggest
matters.
hard.
That matters.
That matters.
Yeah, that was the hardest part for me, dealing with a narcissist and walking away and looking him dead in his face and knowing that I was worth more than that. And no matter how much I felt that I loved this person, they weren't the person I originally believed they were. And I had to come to terms with
Right.
not being in denial that this person is who, in fact, they are showing me they are, and it was always that person originally.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then I was
That's
able
real.
to pull myself out of the situation. We have a lot of people that's stuck in those situations right now. And they probably, hopefully, will watch your show and hopefully get some, empowerment from us speaking on it, to understand that you're not alone. Everybody is, entitled to how they feel. And it's not fair when these people do these
Yes.
things to us when we mean good, and they originally showed us one particular person that we fell in love with completely and would do anything for.
Yep.
And then we turn around and now realize that the mask has come off and they originally
And that
were the
motherfucker is
original
not
person
who
that's
the
showing
fuck
us.
we saw
Not who the
first.
fuck we saw first.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. It's hurtful. It's demeaning. They're degrading. They're making excuses. They're making us feel like it's our fault. They're making us feel like we're something wrong with us, that we're not the regular people in society we are. They're trying to make us feel
When in
insecure.
When in
actuality, all we should
actuality,
have
all we
did was
should have
just
did
walked
was just
away from
walked
that
away
point
from that
because
point
we knew what we
because
were. We knew
we knew
who we
what we
were to
were.
these
We knew who
people.
we were to
We
these
just
people.
decided
We
to
just
go against
decided
that
to go
first
against that
initial
first
instinct.
initial instinct.
Yes,
The thing that
The
told us
thing
no
that
in the
told us
first
no in the
place was the
first
one
place was
thing
the
that we
one thing
led
that we
into.
led into.
exactly. And this is the
Yep.
problem that we have with the world right now, that there's so many people that are manipulative and narcissistic and dark minded
Hmm.
and looking just for a come up, and they have these wonderful ways of showing us a completely other alter character that makes us feel
Yeah.
comfortable to trust them and to do for them and to create an atmosphere surrounding them, because we feel that we
Hmm.
really want that person in our lives, but don't think that they didn't have the opportunity to change, because they could have been that person originally all
They could
along
have
if they
been
wanted to, but they just don't want to. That they're just too set in their ways of getting
it's the
away with
change.
The change.
taking all the hearts from the other people. Some of them need the attention from multiple partners. Some of them need the attention to be the center of being victimizing themselves. Meanwhile, they are
Mm,
victimizing others and they're not really the victim at all.
right. There
Right.
you go.
They will, a narcissist will always make you believe that you're a narcissist, and they will always create an atmosphere that will make you
Mm,
feel that you are the one that is wrong and there is something wrong with you.
Right. Right.
right.
And I never even knew what that was until I realized it. So you definitely have to be careful with these people and these behaviors, because it's not just a friend, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a mom, a sister. There's a lot of people that are doing this. So we definitely want to be
Mm-hmm.
careful with who we trust in our lives, with financial information, with trusting to build a relationship with, or a house, or getting letting them know
Mm-hmm.
informational, personal stuff about a job, or anything that can harm you, because you
Right.
don't really know who is your friend and who is not your friend.
Mm. That's so true.
That's so true.
I
You
got
really
this
don't know
video
who to
clip I
trust.
want to run
Yeah.
for you. I want you to see this.
Okay.
I want you to see
I
this, and
want
I
you to
want
see
you to
this, and
tell
I
me
want
what
you
you
to
think
tell me
about
what you
this.
think about
This
this.
was a
This was
question
a
I
question
asked
I
on
asked
my
on
home
my
attack.
home attack.
Let me see if I
Let me
got
see
this
if I
one.
got this one.
Question. All right. So, what was the one thing that was your your one drive, like before marriage, before the kids? What was the one thing that was your drive? That one thing that kept you pushing?
The no's, and I started making the yeses for myself. You know,
I feel you.
pain.
I feel you.
You know,
Same way. I thought the same way. Because that shit used to be like, it used to always used to get to me. Like, niggas used to say I was like that ugly nigga. That crazy, big eared, fat, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that got me everything. Like, then my name was like slandered like hell. Like, oh shit, you Marvin the Martian. And fucking, you know what I'm saying? Little bullshit like that. Oh, fucking Pee Wee Herman. I got hit with that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. But look at you.
And
You
then,
you you may not have vision, but you further than a lot.
that's true.
You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, your feet it hit the floor daily.
That's
You
it.
understand what I'm saying? That heart in your chest still beats. You get what I'm saying? You got to keep going, and that's one thing that I admire about you is that your drive, your strength, your aura, your stability, your mental, your physical. You still keep going. Strength is incredible.
What that was one. All right, but that wasn't what I wanted you to see. So like, but in the sense, like I was definitely one of those people. Like, and I ain't gonna lie, like I asked a question to her because for myself it was a large number of things in that category that I had to deal with, difficulty dealing with. Cause like growing up was never an easy thing for me. You know what I mean? Like I remember when I was a kid, you know, my first time walking into elementary school in Atlanta, Georgia, when I first moved to Atlanta, I never forget that day because like I never had experienced any of that before. Like I never had been like appreciated type of shit. Like everybody didn't like me. Like I was not a liked person. I went to school wearing the cheapest shit you ever see, the shit that everybody always knew was fake. And I dealt with constant criticism from people. Never really got a chance to acknowledge for just who I am and who I could. I could I could be a person that, you know, could recite a song. I could, you know, show you that I could play ball. I could shoot a jump shot. You know, I could run a ball. I could throw a football. I was a good kid. that I tried to do good things, but when you look at the fact that there was so much of an impression on what you look like at the time that I was having to make an impression in an educational part of your life. You know what I mean? Like I didn't understand that shit. And I went through a lot of different things. I think my guest got booted out. I'm gonna get her back in here. Oh no. Oh no, she fell out. I don't know what happened. But that's what I mean. Like it's just been crazy. And I will say this, with everything that I've been through, I'm just glad that once again I'm here and through no fault of my own, I'm making shit happen. Every day I'm coming to, prove that I can be a good person. I can do the one thing, you know, that no other person expects me to do. I think my homie's still in here. She might just be checking. But that's where I'm at right now. That's where I am right now. Just trying to get my shit together. Well, know that tonight is New Wave Music Wednesday, and we coming for you tonight. So whenever you guys tune in with us, this is where we're gonna be at tonight.
So
7 p.m.
Marvin,
Yep.
I have a question. What if the police department started a program to where you could have rent for a whole free year or free groceries for a year, but you gotta snitch on a few niggas?
Yo, I think that's what they do. I think that's some shit they actually do for niggas.
This my nigga here.
Guns. He is our resident movie reviewer. And yes, the man is legally blind. The man can't see shit.
I'm gonna get my client some food. He don't even know it. Hey, sir. I got you some food.
Hey, I'm excited.
Marvin, your dinner's ready.
Hello?
Hey, this Darlene.
Who is this?
This Elizabeth.
Okay, I still have that. I gotta get that off there. I had to get that off there because that was yesterday or Monday's episode. It was a funny little thing I found. I'm just saying, I thought it was funny. So I don't know about y'all. I thought that was some funny shit.
Okay. Question. All right. So, what was the one thing?
I think that was it though. But yo, let me just say something before I get up out of here. Cause know that I'm here for you guys and I'm talking to you from a good place. So for me, like this is just the way that things have fallen in this spectrum of our lives. You know what I'm saying? Like we look at love like we look at life. And in many ways, this is why this day really doesn't fit certain people. You know, To all the lovers out there that's in love, man, real love, respect to you, you know? But I had to talk on that level because I felt like just because yesterday's topic should have been talked about like this. And I only had the opportunity to have her today. So it's a good thing that I got my homegirl on here today and we talked about this because this was in tune with what I was talking about yesterday, what I wanted to talk about yesterday. So I'm glad to have this conversation hashed out and ironed out on a day like this. So I appreciate y'all for being a part of it. And we here for you. Peasy Show. Appreciate you. I got it in this fucking.
You know what time it is. You know what time it is. Grab your camera phones and your devices, kick off your shoes and grab yourself some popcorn, baby. Cause the Peasy Show is online Monday through Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, baby. Grab your camera phones and your devices, kick off your shoes, grab yourself some popcorn, baby. Cause the Peasy Show is online, so come chill with us.
Yeah.
Show gon' have a good time, baby. We got the vibe. Welcome to my room. Yes, I'm blind. Catch me Monday through Saturday live, 7 p.m. East Coast time. Yeah. We on the rise. Kick off your shoes. Enjoy the ride. What we can do is motivate minds like Motivation Monday. Y'all up on your